hey Jennifer, I am going to read your energetic signature. So when I went into your energy field, I saw your energy body and we were outside and I could see her back and she started flying into the sky and she had these big giant wings that were coming out and she was like flapping them and going up in the sky. And at first I thought they were angel wings, but I was like, that doesn't seem like energetically correct. And so I went into the sky with her and she turned around to face me and she had these giant blue butterfly wings that were coming out of her back, and I was like, oh my gosh, you are only the other second person that I've ever seen this with before. Okay, so there's some type of butterfly humanoid type of hybrid beings and they're cousins to the Fae. And Fae do not just include fairies, okay? There's a lot of different type of beings that are underneath that umbrella. So these butterfly beings are akin to them. So I told her why I was here and I said, I'm here for Jennifer and is there any advice or wisdom or anything that she needs to see? And she said yes. And all of a sudden we disappeared, like vanished really quick. And then we ended up in this underground city. It wasn't like scary or anything, but you know, it was underground, so it was kind of like dark and there was like a lot of lanterns that were lit everywhere. And all of a sudden her wings retracted all the way into her body, and I said, oh, that's cool, why do they do that? And she said, oh, so they don't get damaged while I'm walking around, I guess get snagged on things. And then she told me I need to go see the mystic. And I said, okay. And so we're walking through the city and all of a sudden we kind of go into this tent, if you will. It's more like symbolic, like for our human psyche. But I went to this tent and I sat down in this chair and I closed my eyes, and as soon as I did, I started hearing this tribal type of drumming, and suddenly I started going into a shamanic journey. Now, in saying this, my body was representative of your energy body, so I could POV this and see it in real time. So then I saw this older woman. I was in the room with her, okay? And I saw this older woman and she was yelling at this man, and I think he was a tribal leader maybe, and what she was yelling is, I will not stand for these injustices. And as soon as she said that, I know this sounds really intense, but she fell over and she was near the end of her life, and I walked over to her and she looked at me and she said, I need to return to the earth. And I said, okay, where would you like me to take you? And I'm representative of your energy body, but in this instance, this was somebody else that helped her, but because I'm first personing the situation here, I was then representing this other person that was helping her, okay? But this butterfly version of you was a different timeline version, and this older woman. So I picked her up and I took her to this sacred space. I think it was like a burial space, and I laid her on the ground, and then all of a sudden she like almost disappeared and she reincarnated as the butterfly woman that I originally met. So the butterfly woman's timeline came after, like right after hers. And I asked her why she did that, why she decided to go ahead and move on to her next journey, because she didn't have to, but she made that choice. And she said because she wasn't able to help as much in the capacity that she wanted to in that one. And so she was wanting to reincarnate and help the next generation. She said there wasn't enough forward movement being created in the generation she was from. And so you are from a long line of women warriors, okay? But she saw the collective consciousness shift that was happening, and she said, I would be much more of service if I was offering compassion and grace and understanding and empathy than the way that the previous ancestors had been making these shifts in that more warrior type of capacity. But she also wanted to say that this butterfly version of you and you in this incarnation, she said, y'all are still warriors of the light. She didn't say y'all, that was mine. But you are still warriors of the light, just in a different capacity. And not only are you from this ancestral lineage of warriors, but you also, all of them have been seers. Okay, so what does that mean? Seers, in certain type of capacities, because there can be many different types, seers can see what is coming on the horizon for the collective or for humanity or for certain groups of persons, okay? And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if there are certain companies that hire like consultants. I wonder if they're like a business type of seer because they can see like further down the timeline of those companies. So it's just interesting to think about. But anyway, okay, so you can predict what is going to happen in the future on like a big grand scale. And so your higher self said that, I don't know if you've watched these in the past, but there's a lot of collective timeline readers that say, oh, this is the energy that we're about to move into. So you have those same abilities and those same gifts, and how you decide to project that outside of you might look very different from what others are doing. And your higher self said that we need to be really mindful about watching those, because sometimes it can muddle up your own truth. And she said that might be why when you're watching them that they don't feel quite right, like something just feels off kilter and you can't really explain why. Some oracle card readers and tarot card readers, they also do those type of collective energy readings, but when you're listening to them, they don't fully resonate because you're supposed to be also doing that type of work. Okay, so as an Akashic record reader myself, I don't watch other people talk about the Akashic records because it muddles up my own opinions and perspectives and my own experiences, and then I start to speak through other people's truths, and it doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't really resonate with my community. And so the same thing with you, and not to say don't watch them ever, okay, because they are fun and they are helpful, but just you having this conscious awareness of, oh, this is my gift as well, will help you with not interpreting and ingesting the things that are not for you in your timelines and for you in your collective and your groups of persons. So a couple different ways that you can develop this, because maybe you want to do this professionally or maybe not. Even if you don't, like, it's really good to have for your own personal like life or helping your family members or your friends, but working with your clairvoyance. And clairvoyance isn't always seeing pictures in your mind. Okay, that's one flavor of that, but you can also see into the past and into the future, okay, and read the energies, but also working on your clairsentience and your claircognizance abilities, because those are your three strongest. You can also learn how to channel yourself, okay, because you have this long lineage of warrior seers, and they can help you with your perception abilities and just having more direction and clarity, again, for self, or if you choose to share this gift in the collective. Also learning about timeline prediction. You can probably find some videos on YouTube, like in the spirituality realm. And then learning how to trust your intuition, because all of these things are very intangible, and your gift is rooted in you trusting yourself. I would think that there have been many times in your life where you assumed something was going to happen and then it did, and you're like, oh yeah, but you kind of just were like, oh, everybody does that. No. Okay, that's a very specific gift that, you know, other people can have as well, but that's not everyone's gift. That is a special ability that you have. So when those things happen, you got to really take note of it and be like, oh yeah, this is my gift. This is confirmation that this is something that's really unique about myself. And when I learn to trust that, and then it works out on the other side, that's just even more, you know, proof that I have all of these things available to me. And so I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope you have an absolutely magical day.